Hi everyone, this is Teresa with the A-Team and Transformation, and today I am creating a video about your true fear. And what I mean by that is in life we are sometimes triggered by what people say and do and people's behavior. And a lot of times it's just highlighting things that we really haven't questioned within ourselves. So sometimes we think that we're upset about one thing and it's actually something that's much deeper. So this is a shadow exercise as far as working with the unconscious, and really it's simple. All you're going to do is ask what's so bad about that whenever you are feeling a negative emotion, whenever you're triggered about something. And this is basically just to figure out and have some more insight as to why this is such a uncomfortable feeling and situation that's happening. So it just gives you some good insight about yourself. And so it's kind of an oldie but goodie, but it really is extremely helpful. So, okay, so I have a couple of examples here. And all you're gonna do is ask yourself what's so bad about it. And the only disclaimer I have is that sometimes you're gonna wanna go into the story and instead of dropping into the feeling and the emotion of what's so bad about it. So, okay, so here's a couple of examples. So the first one is, okay, I'm angry because the person didn't let me into the lane that I needed to get in, right? So we see this all the time, people honking at each other and super triggered behind that wheel. So you would say, okay, so what's so bad about that? Okay, so this person didn't let me in the lane. What's so bad about that? I felt disrespected. Okay, so what's so bad about feeling disrespected? Okay, well, I couldn't do anything about it. Well, what's so bad about not being able to do anything about it? Well, I felt powerless. Okay, so if someone feels powerless and gets triggered by that specific situation, generally speaking, they already felt powerless. That was already there, and then that experience just mirrored the feeling that was already there, if that makes sense. So for example, if someone didn't feel powerless, if someone else isn't walking around feeling powerless about life themselves, they would have made the meaning something else. That person was having a really bad day, you know, maybe they were rushing to get to an emergency, or the person may say, that was kind of rude, and just, you know, go about their day. But if someone's truly feeling powerless, they may think about it for an hour, 2 hours, even the whole day, okay? So that is the first example. Second example is, I'm not in a relationship, okay? So what's so bad about not being in a relationship? And the person may say, well, I feel lonely. What's so bad about feeling lonely? Well, it makes me feel unwanted and undesired. So what's so bad about feeling unwanted and undesired? Well, it makes me feel unlovable. Okay, so that, again, that feeling of unlovable was already there, and you are making that not being in a relationship, you're making that the meaning is I'm unlovable. So a lot of times what we're doing is we're using other people's definition as well of what lovable is or what unlovable is. So what also I invite you to do is to examine and create, what is your definition of what lovable is? What is your definition? Not what your mother's definition is, or your father, your uncle, or your preacher. What is your definition? Because they also have their own triggers. They also have their own healing that they need to do. And so, you know, it's kind of like, you know, they're not in your heart, they're not in your mind, right? And so this will be extremely helpful to kind of be able to look at it in a different way and actually question, is this true, right? Is that actually true when you have your own definition? The third example is, I don't have any money. Now, for a lot of people, it's going to be super easy to go into the story. It's going to be like, what do you mean? Like, why would I, like, what's so bad about that? Like, hello, you know, I'm behind bills. I maybe can't pay rent. You know, I have to be around people I don't want to be around. I can't buy the things I want to, all those kinds of things. And that's 100% could be accurate and very true. But a lot of times it's the meaning that we're making it, and so we can't ever get out of that cycle. And so it's kind of repelling or it's repelling opportunities and potentials that you may not be able to see or may not be able to create because of the meaning that you're giving it. So let's say, and again, it's might be hard for some people to not go into the story, but if you go into the story, that's okay. You just keep asking the question. So let's see. Okay, I don't have any money. What's so bad about that? Well, I have to live with my dad. Okay, well, what's so bad about that? Well, he's always criticizing me. He's always judging me. Okay, so what's so bad about him criticizing you? Well, it makes me feel bad about myself. Well, what's so bad about feeling bad about yourself? Well, it makes me feel shame. Okay, so that is the part of you that's being triggered by him criticizing, because there's a lot of people that maybe deal with criticism, but the shame may not be triggered because it's not already there. So there's a couple things, right? So if you think about it as this person playing a role, playing a character to highlight the things that you need to still look within yourself, that's the first thing. The second thing is a lot of times people don't know how to handle emotion. They either retreat when they feel guilt and shame or jealousy or whatever it is, or they project, and they maybe unconsciously make you feel that way or want to make you feel that way. So there's kind of two scenarios, or both could be potentially happening at the same time. A lot of people don't have a plan when it comes to negative emotions, right? It's like they don't have a plan. They don't sit there and say, okay, I feel a negative emotion. What does this mean? You know, I'm gonna sit with it. They generally don't have a plan. They just act unconsciously and not consciously. So that's the second thing. And, you know, if someone says to you, you know, you are stupid, you're not smart, you're, you know, unsuccessful, not talented, and it doesn't trigger you, then there's really no part of you that really believes it, right? But if you are triggered, then there's parts of you that potentially believe that potentially believe that you aren't smart, or that you aren't successful, or that you aren't talented. And so that's why creating your own definition and sitting down and just really never actually asked myself what I think smart is, or what I think successful is, or what I think talented is. It's always been my teacher's definition, my parents' definition, the person that I'm in a relationship, their definition. When you ask yourself what your definition is, you are going to be able to quiet the noise around you and follow your true north consistently. So I hope this video was helpful, and make sure to subscribe if you're not a subscriber, turn on the notification bell, like, share this video, and there's also links below if you'd like to support this channel. And again, I appreciate every single view when someone watches my channel. So again, thanks so much for watching.